Howard, I just want to tell you, as the chairman of Classrooms Without Borders, you, first of all, as a person, you are a mensch, and you are one of the most special people I've met. Um, our
Yeah.
goal is experiential learning, and there's not one person whose life wasn't totally changed by meeting you and being with you on the trips that you've been on.
I agree.
You are, I mean, you're amazing, and you're a role model for all of us. And in these times that we're going through right now, with so much hate and so many Jewish places, I mean, yeah, just stuff going on in Miami this week again, and I know what you have going on in Canada. I mean, we need to spread the word, and we've done a lot, and you've helped us do a lot, and we want to continue to do a lot in your honor of your 96th birthday, and we hope to be able to celebrate many more with you. So
Thanks very much.
thank you for being here and letting us share in on your special day.
We have a long way to go. We have a long way to go.
Baruch
Thanks very much,
Hashem.
Rob. Always a pleasure to see you, especially seeing you smile with the proper words. We will overcome everything. We will
Yes.
overcome everything.
Thank you.
Everybody has to do their part, though.
Thank you. So I'm going to get us started for today's event. As I mentioned, we have a little video clip, and then we have a few people who have prepared a few remarks. I want to thank everyone for joining us to celebrate a truly remarkable milestone, the 96th birthday of our dear friend, Howard Chandler. Howard's extraordinary life story and his tireless dedication to Holocaust education has left an indelible mark on countless educators, students, and communities worldwide. His journey of survival, resilience, and hope is a beacon of inspiration, reminding us of the enduring importance of remembrance and action. Today, we not only honor Howard's incredible legacy, but also the transformative role he has played in shaping our collective understanding of history and humanity. It is a privilege to be here with you all today as we pay tribute to a man who has continued to inspire and educate with such passion and purpose. I'm sure all of you are familiar with me, but I'm Ellen Resnick, the Educational Programs and Outreach Manager at Classrooms Without Borders. As you know, CWB is deeply committed to fostering experiential learning and empowering individuals to combat hate, discrimination through education. Over the past 13 years, our mission has reached over 87,000 participants, and this, of course, is because we pivoted during COVID. We have participants from over 84 countries, and just in today's Zoom, we have, I counted 4 countries, but there's probably even more, and 46 United States. Tonight is all about Howard and his profound connections he has forged with each of us, whether through his teachings, his personal reflections, or the lasting influence he has had on our lives and classroom. We will invite you to share your remarks when we open the mics in just a few minutes. Many of you are aware that we honored Howard as our Changemaker of the Year award just 2 years ago. So I'm going to share with you a short little video clip honoring Howard, which has remarks from Rob Glimsher, the chair of our board of directors, as well as Sippy Gur. I'm sure she's going to want to say a few words, but we will start with that. Great. Slideshow. Again, here's our little introductory slide. Please let me know if the sound isn't working on the video. We did test it, so it should work well.
David.
So, survivors, those who survived, are never the same people as they should have been, either mentally or physically. And this is in the world that we live. And we each try, each in our own way, to improve things, to let the people know what can happen under certain circumstances.
My first impression of Howard is similar to a lot of people I've known who've been in the Holocaust. They are so strong and yet so sweet. And They are amazing that they've lived life and can do what they do after going through the Holocaust. Howard's warmth was just so special, and to get that warmth out of where he'd been is just something I'll never understand.
This was Birkenau 1.
Yeah.
It's 2, A, B, C, D, and E. Divided by electrified barbed wires like this.
The fact that he continues to go back with Classrooms Without Borders each summer to those places that are so emotionally traumatizing and hold a lot of weight in his life in order to teach the future generation and these teachers that are also, teaching young students. I think it's just very powerful, and it shows the resilience that he holds.
It was almost now 8 years ago that I have been around Howard, and since I was on that trip, and I still feel that I'm processing a lot of the interactions I had with him and some of the message, even subliminal and subtle, that he gives. But I think for me, the most profound thing that I every day honestly think of and that I try to really embody is the ability to forgive, not only for yourself, but also for the world at large.
When we were traveling with Howard, it was a very personal experience because we were actually visiting his town. He showed us where he grew up. He showed us when the Nazis came and ordered all the Jews in the center of town. And we actually were at the center of town where all the Jews were lined up and then put on the railroad cars and taken to the concentration camps.
Howard, thank you so much for sharing your story, for showing us resiliency, for being open to continue to travel with us to Poland. It will be irreplaceable to do a study seminar like this when survivors are gone. It's a very meaningful trip. I appreciate you as an educator and as my friend.
Howard, I'm so thankful for joining us since 2011 on our Poland journey. You inspired educators, students, teachers, and lay people on this difficult trip, and you turned them into witnesses. And we, in return, will keep your legacy and continue it by educating and sharing your story for many generations to come. You are an inspiration, a friend. You're so brave, and you are my friend and such a mensch. I wanted to wish you and your family health and all the good in the world. Thank you.
Thanks very much.
So I'm going to stop my sharing now. I'm sure that Sippy would like to say a few words. Hopefully she has gotten set up in the office. Sippy, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's.
I'm very touched with all of you that joined us. There are 94 people, but there are so many more that couldn't come because of work. I'm thankful to all of you here because I know that you, and I look at each of you and I know what you do to continue fighting and teaching. And I think it inspires all of us. Howard, I said what I said. I hope to celebrate with you, God willing, your birthday as always in June with a new group of teachers that we are going to take this summer. And I'm going to let everybody else speak up. People from Sarasota, from Youngstown, from all over, and there are so many more. I just want to tell you one thing. I was invited yesterday to dinner in a neighborhood, and with one student that went on your trip. Now she's 30, and she couldn't stop talking about the impact that you made on her life. At that club for dinner, there were 2 other families, and they couldn't stop talking about the impact that you made on their kids. So stay healthy, happy birthday, and can't wait to celebrate June 21st with you.
Fantastic. We're now going to turn the
Thank you
program
very
over
much.
to Jim Lucote, who's going to say a few words for us.
Well, hi, Mr. Chandler. It's always an absolute pleasure to be with you. I'm very honored to be part of this today and your celebration. It makes me very happy to introduce you to all of my students who are joining us today. You'll be receiving a big envelope of pictures and cards and notes and letters from them too. I'll send them tomorrow. And I was showing my students a bunch of pictures of you and I, and you're always smiling in these pictures, but then I realized it's only because Leanne Toddy's taking the pictures and you're smiling because of her, but it's okay. I'm okay. I can handle that. I can't begin to explain to you the impact you've had on my life. Your story and your experiences are beyond extraordinary, but your commitment and your dedication, your drive, your courage, and your standards are things I strive for myself. I admire you for so many reasons. The lessons and descriptions you have shared with me have forever influenced and they motivate me to this day. I want you to know because of you, I will teach the history of the Shoah and your story for the rest of my life. I'm a better person because I've met you. Happy birthday. Thank you.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
That is beautiful, Jim. Sarah, it's you.
Hi everyone. My name is Sarah Grand. I went to Poland with Mr. Chandler in 2023. Before I met Howard Chandler, I was not sure what to expect. I had never met a Holocaust survivor before because I'm part of the generation where we don't have a lot left. And even though I had been told that Howard was full of life and no question was off the table, I still was not expecting to be met with such a pleasant surprise of Howard being, I know it's cliche, but he does light up a room when he enters it. He is so kind, spunky, and full of life, and frankly, I would have never guessed he was in his 90s. He told his story with such grace and eloquence, mixing raw emotion with humor, and he touched the entire audience's hearts. He is beloved by all who meet him, and I am so honored to get to know him. Happy birthday, Howard. You are my hero, and here's to many more years of being the world's greatest mensch.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
Beautiful words, Sarah. Michelle, it's you.
Hi, Howard. I went to Poland in 2022, the summer of 2022, and it was a smaller group because it was the year after COVID. And so we were sort of lucky because we got to spend more time with you and talk to you guys specifically. And I remember eating breakfast with you and your daughter, with Hetty, and I just was talking to you. And I, as a teacher, was like, what do you expect? What do you want? What do you hope for us as teachers? And you just said, I want you to continue to share the stories and share my story. And I just want you to know that I have plenty of students on here today as well, and former students. And I do share your story every year. And it's so important and so inspiring. And you are just a wonderful person to keep teaching and to keep sharing. And it means so much to us, especially as educators, to help make these connections and help these students understand. So thank you and happy birthday. And I'm always wishing you the best.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Michelle. Josh Alt was going to speak, but I don't see him on yet. He must be having a little bit of difficulty. So we're going to move to Samantha Larkin.
Hi, everybody. My name is Samantha. I went to Poland last year and had the pleasure of traveling with Howard as well. First off, happy birthday. It's a big year. Thank you for allowing us to celebrate it with you. And I wanted to take a moment to reflect on the immense impact your story has had on me and on so many others. When I first heard your testimony, I was so deeply moved. The atrocities we study in history textbooks feel distant, like they're part of a past that's hard to fully grasp. But your story and your personal account did something that no textbook could ever do. It took those abstract horrors and put them on a face that we could connect with. Through you, I didn't just learn about history, I felt it. I understood it on a human level. And because of that, I began to understand the power of personal testimony. You showed me that history is the lived experiences of people like you, real resilient individuals who endured unimaginable hardships.
Your story has inspired me to seek out other personal testimonies, to hear from others who have lived through history's darkest chapters. I want to carry forward the lesson you taught me, that our personal connection to these stories makes history come alive. Thank you for your strength and your courage, and happy birthday.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I do believe that Josh Alt is here now, so we could, there he is. Thank you for making it, Josh. I know it was a little bit of a challenge getting home in time for this, but we appreciate you taking the time to say a few words.
Yeah, I'm actually at school. The bell just rang, so I just let the kids go. So, Mr. Chandler, I just wanted to just say a few words. It was such a privilege getting to meet you a couple of summers ago and being able to hear all of the stories you told us on our trip to Poland and to visit the places where you grew up and to some of the darkest places in your life. And as a teacher, I teach journalism at Springwoods High School in Houston, Texas. The lessons I learned on that trip, I hope to continue to share that with my students forever and ever. And I have a picture of me and Mr. Chandler on my wall right by the door. And so the students see you every day when they leave. And so they know who you are. And I know that what you taught me in that summer, that short few days we were together, is something I'll always remember. And I'm so grateful to have had that experience and to be able to teach the next generation to be kind and to be loving and not to judge other people for what they believe, for what they look like. And so I really appreciate everything that you taught me. So happy birthday.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
The floor is yours.
Happy birthday, Howard. I'm so thrilled that I had the opportunity to meet you and to spend time with you on the trip to Poland. I learned so much from you during that trip. I think number one, I learned so much about forgiveness and how you not only forgave, but also found a way to find a path to joy in your life. I think nothing will ever affect me the way seeing you on the day that we visited Auschwitz and hearing your stories while being there as a young boy, and then celebrating with the cohort of members in a celebration that night and watching you dance with your granddaughter. That was so poignant and so bittersweet, because it showed me how in the midst of all this traumatic experience that you experienced earlier in your life, you were able to find a way forward and to find joy and to continue living and building a beautiful family that you have. So that was number one. And then number two, I learned so much about the important lesson in leadership that you demonstrated. I think when we went to visit your hometown of Stara Zoice, I'm sorry if I'm not, yes, thank you. What was an incredible lesson for me from that day was how, despite the fact that so many former Jews who lived in that community never wanted to return, you found a path forward in your heart to return and to build a bridge of peace with the community. And I was just amazed that in only the recent years had they even acknowledged what had happened in that town center, but that you still maintained a connection to them. And I sense that you forgave the community and were able to build a lasting relationship with them. So I learned so much about your leadership through that, and I just want to thank you. There's so many things I learned, but I'm just so grateful and honored to have been on this trip with you and honored to be here to celebrate your birthday. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very kind of you.
Thank you. Now we have some of Howard's family who would like to say a few words.
Hi, Dad.
Bonnie, I think you're spotlighted.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, Dad. Happy birthday. I didn't get a chance to talk to you this morning. Many of you know that my dad only started to talk about his Holocaust experiences when my youngest brother, Mark, had to do a school project about his parents. He was in Hebrew day school at the time. My dad told his story to Mark for the first time, which was about 20 years after liberation. And after that, the school approached Dad to come and talk to the students about his years during the war. At that point, I guess Dad decided that his story needed to be told for future generations, difficult as it was for him at that time. Until then, Dad told us that his Auschwitz tattoo was his phone number, and we believed him, even though it was less than 7 numbers and we were all old enough to know better. Ever since then, especially around Friday night dinners, Dad has talked about his experiences, both before, during, and after the war. Dad has an incredible gift of memory for names, places, and events that made it all real for us kids. It wasn't all doom and gloom, because Dad would intersperse his stories with funny anecdotes, like stories about his pet goat, and that makes him such a captivating speaker for us and for the thousands of people he has told his story to. Over the years, his kids and most of his grandkids have been by his side on either March of the Living, Classrooms Without Borders, or private trips to Poland. All of us have watched with pride and amazement as he delivers this very important lesson to Jews, non-Jews, young and old. Our dad is the smartest person. He's a voracious reader and knows so much more than I will ever learn. And he is on a mission to keep learning. Dad, we love you more than you can imagine. And although for the last 6 years, we've been telling you to take a break from your trip to Poland, whatever you decide, you know we will always support you, as we know this is your passion and your life's work. Happy 96, and to Ad Mea V'Esrim, to 120.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. Amen.
Eddie?
Happy birthday, Dad. I am downtown, and it's just amazing to me to see how many people are here today to honor my father. It's so meaningful to us and as a family, and of course to my father. And thanks to Classrooms Without Borders for carrying the torch and for getting us all together to celebrate his 96th birthday. I don't think my dad ever believed that he would see 96 years. Sharing his story about the Holocaust with you has been a driving force for my dad. For those of you who have gone on the trip, who can forget the extreme emotions of seeing him say Kaddish for his mother, his little brother, and his sister at Treblinka, or walk along with him on his journey in Auschwitz. And we would never ever have believed in our wildest dreams that we would be so welcome and honored in his hometown of Bieszczynec, Starkowice. And you, all of you, are the fortunate ones who have shared these moments of sorrow and of wonder with us. The past few trips, Sippy and I have noticed that amongst all the people who are going through the camps, there are no survivors amongst the groups, except for my father. It's a very sad thing that people are no longer healthy enough to travel and share their stories. And I hope you feel as lucky as I feel to still be able to do this with my dad. The trips aren't easy, physically or psychologically, for my dad, but he continues to go because he feels that this is the absolute best and the most meaningful way to spread the message of the Holocaust. And going with educators is of prime importance to him. To share his story, the story of so many others, has been a priority for him for many, many years. The lives that he has touched and had a great effect on are ever growing. There are so many people that I could name, everybody here, but just a shout out to some very special people. James Lukoff. James, you've been amazing. You've made this whole journey for me more worthwhile in every endeavor that you've taken on to teach about my dad's story. It's for Avi and Josh and David, Lisa, Ellen, of course, Sippy and Rob and Bob and Michael, and so many others. And as second generation survivors, both Sippy and I and the board of directors of Classrooms Without Borders feel an obligation to pass along his experiences, because doing nothing is not an option. Being indifferent and being a bystander is not an option for us. And we hope that it's not an option for you either. When I took on the role of accompanying my father and the groups with Classrooms Without Borders, little did I know that I would go on over 13 trips. Before that, I never even wanted to go to Poland. I had no desire at all. 13 trips and counting. It's impossible to say no to Tiffy. Dad, I love you and I wish you many more years of good health and hope very much that we can continue to make these trips together. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Hedy.
you. Thank you, Hedy and Bonnie. And Joelle, you asked to say a few words, so the spotlight is on you.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Hi, Zadie. Happy birthday. I want to scroll down to see your face. It's so touching to hear people speak about you and their experiences on your trip and how they've passed on your story down to their generations and different classrooms of students. I know that your story is in good hands, and I pray that as generations pass and eventually when there won't be any Holocaust survivors alive to hear your story, to share their stories, that your words will continue to impact people's lives and change the world for the better. Your mission is so inspiring. I'm always inspired and touched by you. I'm emotional. I'm touched by you every day. You're the strongest person I know. And I just want you to know how much I love you. And I wish you many, many more years in good health and happiness and the ability to continue touching lives and accomplishing your mission.
Thank you, Joelle. That was beautiful.
Thank you,
And Sippy has asked me to highlight Wayne. Can you? Wayne Rubin? Are we finding him, Jackie? Sorry.
I'm looking for Wayne. If there's a Wayne Wolfstadt.
That's our cousin.
Well, let's go to Barbara Shapira, seeing as, because I can see Barbara Shapira, I'm sure she would like to say a few words.
Howard, I am just sitting here so touched by your family and all the people who have experienced this with you. And I know on our trip, I was lucky enough to have my daughter, my son, and my granddaughter with us. And it has given us an opportunity to share something that we continue to talk about. And each one of us, all the different ages that we are motivated and some have begun, I have continued to work very hard to be an upstander and to encourage all of those that I know around me to be the same and to continue the work that you do in the small ways that we do. But you have influenced us dramatically. And I remember every minute of that trip. And I think about your hometown that day we were there, and then went to Treblinka, and all of the emotions that we all felt, I think will live with me forever. So thank you for being that much of having that much of an impact on me and my family and all of us here. Many more happy birthdays. Thank you.
Thanks very much. Yeah.
Beautiful. So we're going to transition now to our Brady Bunch formula here, and you are welcome to unmute yourself. Hopefully we won't all do that at the same time, and those that would like to say a few words can say a few words.
Can I?
Yes.
I'm here in London, England, and I'm Howard's sister-in-law, his brother's wife, and I'm very, very proud of him. I mean, I didn't realize what he was doing, but I found out, of course, since, and I talk about him to all my friends, and I've told them what he's been doing, taking groups of people over to Poland. And that makes him a very brave man and a very wonderful man. And I'm proud his brother married me because of him. And I bless my nieces and nephew, and all should go well for you. You deserve it.
Thank you so much.
Thanks very much, Doreen. Thank you.
Howard?
Can I say a few words? This is Cheryl.
Please, Cheryl.
Hi. I'm married into the family. My husband is Uncle Howard's nephew, Wayne. I guess Wayne's working. He tried to get on. He was on, but I guess he had to go back to work. So I'll just say a few words on behalf of Wayne. Have no idea what he was planning on saying, but we've been inspired and in awe of Uncle Howard for, well, certainly 40 plus years, and I've been in the family, and Wayne's whole life of 68 years. We actually traveled to Poland in 2016 on another group trip, and were in all of the areas that Uncle Howard, I believe, taken the groups to, not to his hometown, but through the whole trip, all we could think of was actually Auntie Elsa and Uncle Howard, and what it must have been like for them, and the horrors are just unimaginable to us. Your strength, your courage, your tenacity is just something to be admired. We wish you many, many continued years of good health and happiness. And it's an honor to be part of your family and in your circle, and to continually just be loved and inspired by you. You are just an incredible person, and you have a beautiful, beautiful family.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Can I say a few words?
Please.
Hi, Uncle Howard.
Hi,
I've been here
Wayne.
all along. I just have to keep going and doing checks. Anyways, I called you at home. I was expecting you to answer, but I bet you were probably out with your friends having lunch and playing cards, because the caregiver answered. But I'm personally going to wish you a very happy birthday, many, many more. I love you dearly, as does our whole family. For me, one of the greatest things I ever saw was our daughter, Hannah, got married a few years ago, and Uncle Howard had a hip replacement at 90 years of age. I called Bonnie that evening, it was a Monday, to pass on if she's going to go to the hospital and see Uncle Howard. Could she please give him a kiss and say, I hope everything went well? And she says, well, you can speak to him yourself, because he was home that afternoon. after having a hip replacement. And at Hannah's wedding, it was either 1 or 2 years later, he was dancing on the floor. We have a picture of him dancing on the floor with our daughter, Hannah, with such a smile on his face. We were so honored to have him there. We love you dearly. We like nothing better than coming with the kids and our grandkids, who you and Auntie Elsa love and adore, coming to the apartment to see you, or yearly when we go up to my sister's cottage and brother-in-law's cottage, and we always go visit Uncle Howard and Auntie Elsa at their cottage, which I sort of grew up in, you know. Unfortunately, my dad's side really didn't have a relationship with my cousins, but extremely, extremely close with the Chandler family. And I love you. I in awe of what you do when you keep going back and carrying the message, and which needs to be told. You know, love you dearly. Going to let other people speak, and we'll see you soon, Uncle Howard.
Thanks, Wayne. Thank you.
And happy birthday, Uncle Howard.
Hi, Les. How are you doing?
Hi, hi. I'm doing fine, thank you. I'm not doing as well as you, I don't think, because you're 96, but you look like a 69-year-old. I just look like 105. Really and truly, it's lovely to see you during the summer, and at Auschwitz and in Poland. It was fantastic seeing you, and a happy birthday.
Thanks, Leslie. Thank you.
I think I saw Stan unmuting himself. Would you like to say a few words, Stan?
I bet I got it now. Hey, happy birthday, Howard. I know I went, to Poland this past summer and got to meet with you and everything. And I believe what I got the most out of the trip was, when I went there, I was interested. I wanted to see the sights and the historical of everything, So I was really interested in the topic, but what I didn't expect was for it to become personal and emotional. I didn't expect to have the feelings that I had, and that came directly from you, and it started at Treblinka. I've heard several other people mention it. At Treblinka, I think we were all almost overwhelmed with emotion, and your strength and kindness and everything while we were going through that played a lot into it. So I'm personally very appreciative for what you do, and it's very important. And I thank you and happy birthday.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
Beautiful.
May I say something?
Please.
It's a sister-in-law, Doreen, from London. I'd like to say that nobody's mentioned Elsa. She has had a lot of good things and bad things to put up with, and I think she's a wonderful woman. The unfortunate thing is she cannot hear anything, but I'd like you to give her my love and tell her I think of her a lot, a great deal. And I wish her everything happy, because even though she doesn't hear, I'm sure she feels that we all love her. God bless you all.
Thank you.
Howard, I forgot to show you earlier when I was speaking. I have this picture of you and me and Barbara Shapiro's granddaughter in my room and here in my dorm at school. And it was in my cabin when I was a camp counselor, and all of my little girls wanted to know about Howard, and everyone who passes by that picture in my room here wants to know about Howard. So you are well loved by many people you haven't met.
Beautiful.
That's right.
I'm dropping in the chat for everyone a couple of PDFs. We have a fundraiser. We have a fund for Howard Chandler for CWB participants. So there's details about that. Erica, would you like to say a few words about the Howard Fund? Erica is our operations manager. Many of you have seen her on Zooms, and here she is in full face.
Everyone, you know, I've been with Classrooms now a little over 2 years, and I've never actually met Howard in person, but I feel like I know him from all the wonderful photographs and tributes that we collected when Howard was the CWB Difference Maker Award winner or honoree in 2023. And that, you know, we honor someone every year who has really made a difference, obviously, to not only to Classrooms, but to the world, to our communities. And that is Howard, and that is exemplified by all the comments that we're hearing today. And they're so heartfelt and so genuine. And Howard is also just a very genuine person. So I hope one day to be able to meet you in person, but I will have to, that will just have to wait. But when we had the ceremony, Howard wasn't able to come in person, but Hetty came down, but we had him there on Zoom. And we announced that we had established the Howard Chandler Scholarship Fund that I'm going to see if maybe I don't know if I can share my screen with it, but maybe Ellen, you can put up the JPEG on the screen if you're able to do that. And that year, we reached out to hundreds of people who had been on the seminars in Poland since 2014. We went all the way back in our files and found addresses and emails and raised that year about $10,000. And the fund is there established to support an educator who otherwise wouldn't be able to afford the seminar fees. They are highly subsidized, but there are still fees involved. And so for those educators, that money is there to support them and to continue Howard's legacy. And I know that we had that as a fundraising effort for his 95th birthday last fall after the award ceremony. And so we thought we would mention that again today for those of you who want to support Classrooms Without Borders and the Poland seminar. And in Howard's honor, you know, we encourage you to make a year-end gift that will honor Howard. And I'm going to put the link in the chat. And if you want to send it online, you can also send us a check if you need information. We're happy to help. But just know that that fund is there in Howard's honor and as his legacy, to ensure that his legacy will remain for many years to come, to support educators and all that they do. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you,
very
Erica.
much.
You're on.
Anybody else? Howard, would you like to say a few words, seeing as you are the man of the hour?
I would like to say a few words, but I'm not going to mention, I'll try not to mention the names because some names just escape me. I remember you when you speak with me, the face looks very familiar, and I'm very glad to see you. I'm really touched by what you did. Honoring me on my 96th birthday, like somebody mentioned, I don't know who it was, that in my wildest dream, I'd never thought I'd ever live to be that age. And to be associated with people like you, who we share certain values, that we work at it and always try to improve our lives and improve those lives who are not as fortunate as we are. And we each have to do our part to make it happen. To some people, it comes easier than others. And everybody has to do their part, not to stand aside when bad things happen to people or good people. And we have to continue doing what we are doing, each in our own way, hoping that it will reflect our values to others too, that might change people's values from the values they have now. What is going on now in the world is absolutely shocking and troubling, especially to a person like me, who knows how it happened and what happened, who it happened to, and by who. We have to handle it and try to improve our lot and the lot of others as well, especially those less fortunate. I'm very happy that you all participated in my 96th birthday. It doesn't come every day. I treasure everybody's comments, and I'm happy to see my family. My sister-in-law in England, she's almost, I don't know, she must be very close to my age. She's pretty pretty still. I can reflect myself on her being. And I thank very much Sippy and all those who put this program together.
She's 94.
She's 94. Oh, well, I'm ahead of you, Doreen. Keep well, everybody. And I'm really touched. I'm really touched by what you did. And I'm happy that you did it. And I treasure it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Wonderful. I think that we have
Lovely
been
to hear
joined
you.
by Bob Mallet. So is Bob Mallet, are you here? Can you open up your microphone?
Lovely to hear you all.
Sippy was letting me know that Bob Mallet has shown up. He's one of our board members who'd like to say a few words.
I found him. I asked him to unmute, but he's on his phone.
Oh, okay. So I have just a very quick photo montage of Howard with a happy birthday song. And then after we do that, we can all...
Oh,
there he is.
We got Bob.
Fantastic.
I just can't get my picture to come up.
No worries. It happened to a few other people.
It's on the bottom, Bob. It's great to hear your voice, Howard. You sound really strong. And congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks very much, Sippy, for everything you do too. You must have your hands full. I hope you have the energy to continue. It's very important. It's very important.
Let me just make sure I've shared my sound here. All right. And here we have, these are the two most recent pictures that I have of Howard and his family, but I'm sure many of you have other ones. And then I've created a little happy birthday song with a photo montage. Please let me know if the audio is not working.
You should change your screen that you have. You have your like screensaver is up.
My goodness, thank you for that. So those are my lovely children. We see it now?
There we go.
All right. Thank you, Erica. I very much appreciate that. All right. All right, we have that. And here we have a little happy birthday to Howard. And after we're done, we can all sing happy birthday. Let me stop my sharing. We'll go back. All right. On three, everybody. 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Howard. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, we're sorry for that, Howard. Terrible.
So we have it for posterity. So we will be sure to send this to you, Howard, and your family as well. Thank you all for joining us. And I don't think we need to spotlight me, Jackie. I think we should spotlight Howard at the end here.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
Ellen, thank you. Thank you so much for putting an amazing program, you and the whole team.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you
Howard.
very much. Yes.
Happy birthday.
Happy
birthday, Howard.
Happy birthday, Howard.
Birthday, Howard.
Happy birthday.
Thank
Happy
you.
birthday, Howard.
Thanks, everybody.
Happy birthday, Howard.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Howard.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, Howard.
Happy birthday.
It was nice to see you too.
And I do want to let everyone know that at the height of today's event, we did have 96 participants. So, woo! It was a beautiful thing. 96 participants for Howard's 96th birthday. Bye, everyone.
For all those who made it happen, for all those who made it happen, I really appreciate it. And I'm happy about it. And thank you. Thank you to all and each one of you. Thank you
And
very
give
much.
our love to Elsa as well.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for joining, all of you.
Thank you. Thank you for making it happen, Sippy.
And Ellen put a lot of time and work, and everybody else on the team, and we love you.
Give my best to David.
I will. I will. I'm just like so thankful for everything that you do and everybody else that you inspire.
It's all because of you, Sippy. I can put the blame on you.
It's all God's work. It's all God's work. We'll follow your mission. And God willing, we'll celebrate in June.
Thank you.
Say very well.
I'll be sure to drink a scotch to your health tonight, Howard.
Thank you.
Right, we all will.
Can we say goodbye?
I'm so reluctant to hit end because people are still here.
Okay. Good to see you, Howard. Nancy and I wish you all the best.
You take
Talk to
care,
you soon.
Howard. We'll see you in the summer.
Day 17, 16. 16 people on it.
Monica, I'm so sorry you joined at the end, but don't worry, we have a recording. And I'll see you tomorrow.
That's lovely. Happy birthday, Howard.
Thank you. Thank
So,
you very much. Yeah.
so good. Your ears must have been ringing continuously since this trip, because I'm sure I'm not the only one who's been naming you and honoring you and talking about you every single day.
Thank you.
Oh, look.
Hey.
Yeah, wow.
Is that real?
Wow. So touching to see all of you here.
Nice to see you.
Hi, Yael.
Bye, there's Yael.
And you can thank him.
Hello. Happy birthday, Zadie.
Hi, Yael. Yael's on too.
Yeah, all the way from Calgary.
Oh, Yael, wow.
Beautiful memory of Yael and you dancing Shabbat. That was just such a fabulous memory for me.
And for me, you are famous. The whole family, you are famous at my school at Tommy Brown.
All right, with reluctancy, I am going to hit end, and I look forward to seeing you, Howard and Hetty, this summer. I know it's always a difficult journey for you, but I thank you so much for making this journey and making this time for Classrooms Without Borders. What you do for educators, what you do for students is just so transformative. And as you heard today with all of the testimonies, you are a legend, and your ability to share your story with such grace and such authenticity is a gift for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
James, the squirrels are enjoying the picnic table. Especially when we put some peanuts on it. You
Well,
should see everybody comes to watch it. Yeah.
whatever you need. You need another one, it's done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.